My name is Chris LeBron. I'm not speaking as a member of CB4 today. I'm putting my private citizen's hat on. Back in the end of August, the Mayor's Charter Revision Committee, or rather commission, put together 3 ballot proposals to put on our general election ballot. It's on the back of the ballot, just to let you guys know. These proposals are changes to our city charter, our city constitution, and my committee is not concerned with Charter Proposal 1. What we're looking at right now is Charter Proposals 2 and 3, 2 being something called the Civic Engagement Committee, and 3 are term limits on community boards. I'll prioritize talking about 3 first before I go into 2 because I think they both breathe into each other. Proposal 3 would mandate term limits on community board members. This would mean that a member of community board is only allowed 4 terms. Terms currently are 2 years long. We have to reapply, or rather they have to reapply. Private citizens hat. They have to reapply, and that goes through a long review process where their seat is not guaranteed for the following term. Borough presidents are currently in charge of this, as well as city council members. There are 59 community boards in New York City out of 51 city council districts. So in the case of CC3, Corey Johnson has CB4, and I believe part of CB3 as well. And that includes Chelsea, Hell's Kitchen, Hudson Yards, and the Village. Why are we asking New Yorkers to vote no on 3? Well, we deal with some complex stuff. I'm actually the youngest member on the Land Use and Zoning Committee. I've only been on now for 4 months, but we tackle some heady things pertaining to the new Gateway Tunnel, Lincoln Tunnel, Port Authority, the zoning text and interpretation and original intent of zoning for the Hudson Yards Special District. We review zoning text pertaining to the Clinton Hell's Kitchen Land Use Special District, which is something that I've benefited from as a child. This was a zoning initiative that was put in place before I was born in the mid-'70s that prohibits large buildings from going up to keep the look and feel of the blue-collar community that is Hell's Kitchen. If you remove institutional knowledge from the CB by forcing people who have been on for decades that have been in these conversations with Related and Gotham and Durst, you essentially leave CBs and the communities that they represent defenseless. I can tell you I do as much homework as I can with the 4 months on, but I'm certainly no match in comparison to a lawyer from Stephen Ross's company Related. That's something that I just am not prepared to go up against. But we do have people, or they do have people rather, like Joe Restuccia. Joe Restuccia, I would call him the king of affordable housing. It's the reason why the mayor can boast the numbers that he boasts currently about, specifically about affordable housing in Chelsea and in Hell's Kitchen in new buildings. They have a weird number they go through, but any time that someone's requesting a rezoning or reuse of land, Joe was there to ensure that parents, families, people who want to invest long-term in our communities can in these equitable and paritable units. So you can have a luxury apartment going for $4,000 and there's a family making $30,000 and they're getting the same amenities. These are the things that we're going to lose if the city votes no on Proposal 3. I say 3 breathes into 2 because at the end of 3, there's text that says, if Proposal 2 is approved, then all community boards are required to use the Civic Engagement Commission on matters of zoning and ULURP. That's scary, and here's why. The Civic Engagement Committee is a 15-person panel where the mayor gets 8 appointees, including chair. They would like to spin it that this belongs to the entire city. It doesn't. This is a mayoral committee. It will do the whim of any mayor. If we did this when Mayor Bloomberg was in office, we'd be up in arms. But right now, it's my personal belief and that of the committee that Mayor de Blasio is taking advantage of the anger that we have in D.C. And he's spinning this as a progressive move. It isn't. There is nothing progressive. In fact, we have an Act Blue account that provides us to do grassroots fundraising. Act Blue, if you're not familiar with it, only supports progressive campaigns. We are more progressive than the mayor. We believe that community boards, city council members, borough presidents ought to have the independence that they currently have in the charter as it exists today. If you vote for Proposal 2, the Civic Engagement Committee, you essentially give real estate developers free license to develop wherever they want in middle-class communities and historic districts, including Chelsea. Okay? I don't have to go to Chelsea land use meetings. I do go to Chelsea land use meetings because Chelsea's a very special area. We have gardens and brownstones there. We have one of the most beautiful parks in the world and one of the most expensively developed parks in New York City with Chelsea Waterside Park. And it would be a shame to see that historic status turned over because a community board is given information by the Mayor's Civic Engagement Committee that they are allowed to change the zoning text. It's unfair. And so when you go into the ballot box, when you go into the booth on November 6th, just turn over the ballot. Vote no on 2 and 3. We have a charter revision committee for 2019 that's being hosted by Gail. It's being hosted by the comptroller and the city council. I would say that is the most democratic opportunity to make changes to our city charter. I sat down on something called the education seminar that's hosted by the mayoral charter revision committee. I got them to say on the record that they just didn't include testimony from New York City residents. They invited European cities to give testimony, and they included that testimony in their findings. When it comes to matters of New York City, it's for New Yorkers. We know what's best for our communities. So, John, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.